Wait, we have our intro music. One sec. All right. Welcome to the MIA, Finn.
Thank you.
Brazilian fans rejoice.
Yeah. No, we're gonna talk about Brazil for 3 hours, nonstop.
For context, we asked the audience for questions, and one of the responses was that Finn needs to immediately stop posting Japanese smut and only post Brazilian smut. So we've decided we are all coming to Brazil.
Yeah,
And
they've asked to have me down there before.
I am asked to come to Brazil constantly.
I think the last podcast has like 10 comments about Brazil. And I think we didn't even mention it explicitly. It was just like
the comment section is going to be going wild. But what I was saying is that Brazil is like a true UFO hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is full to the brim with aliens and goblins. Maybe they call them duende.
El Duende.
El Duende. Full to the brim with El Duende.
Oh yeah, and I believe it to be true. I think Brazilians have a connection to the stars more than a lot of other countries. One of the only
because there's less electrical light to interfere in the vision of the stars.
Exactly, but I have a friend of mine who lives in Brazil, and she is a huge astronomy nerd and built her own star watching tower. I forgot what you call.
I remember you telling me this. She has
her own. She has her own secret account where she just posts gigantic high resolution photos of stars or whatever. It's pretty incredible.
Do you have a favorite star, Finn?
No, honestly, there's too much light pollution where I am. Even where I am, that I don't.
Want me to pull up what fixed stars you have in your chart right now?
Sure.
Let's see. I'll keep talking.
Another one of the responses was to dox Finn. We're going to show the most naked part of the soul, your fixed stars.
I'm looking at. Do you see the 3 audio lines down here at the bottom?
Yeah.
For some reason, my peaks and valleys are a lot smoother than everyone else's, so I'm hoping I'm being recorded properly.
Your voice is just too sweet, too kind. Our evil scorpionic filth voices.
When you're in the editing room, turn my voice up to 200%.
We're gonna turn Chris off.
All right.
Oh my god, that reminds me. It's the fucking. He will not be mentioned on the pod, but there was a moment many moons ago. This is fitting with the theme of not just talking about things like personal stories and giving no context to the audience, but I was recording with Chris once, and I had someone turn off my mic and be like, "Shut the fuck up," and it was like the worst spiritual.
I don't want to start off arguing, but you were playing TikToks.
Listen, it was an ambiance thing.
Always on that damn phone.
Always on their phone. All right, you want to hear? Here's the stars in Finn. Finn, you have quite a few.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Pleiades?
Yes.
Your node is on the Pleiades.
Don't know what that means. That's good, right?
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's okay?
Don't worry about it. It's not bad. It could be, honestly, it could be bad, but we're not going to worry about it. You've got, have you heard of Saddlesud?
Never.
Okay. You have your Mars on Saddlesud and Deneb Algedi, which I think is like the little goat.
Okay.
You've got Pollux. Have you heard of Castor and Pollux, the twins?
Yes. Yeah. I've heard you talk about them before.
You have
probably on this pod.
On your midheaven. And have you heard of Capulus?
No.
Venus on Capulus. Just some fun and silly names of stars. I was with Sean yesterday. Sean and I were swimming yesterday, and I was telling him about my theory on Algol, the demon star, and he has Algol pretty prominently. Actually, his midheaven is on Algol.
What tell us about Algol?
Algol.
The theory.
So, it is the demon's head. It is also the head of Medusa, and it is present in the charts of like every member of the what is it? The intellectual dark web. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The IDW. Every member of the IDW has a prominent Algol. Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Jordan Peterson, like all of them have prominent Algol placements. And as I was playing with this connection, I realized the phrase for it, it is the talking head, which we are right now, talking heads. That I think is the connection.
Interesting.
That does track for we're speaking about Sean Monahan, the inventor of Normcore.
Sean. He had a fantastic idea. I think I will share it because he's going to be writing about it. He either has already written about it or is writing about it. We were talking about the vibes of past summers, the Barbenheimer summer, the hot girl summer.
I didn't see either of those movies.
I saw Barbie and I liked it. I liked Barbie.
I tried to watch Oppenheimer, but I couldn't get through it. I watched Barbie though. Barbie wasn't terrible.
I will give my name for he said this is the guerrilla action summer, and I'm calling it the summer of shove. Summer of shove.
Yeah.
Instead of the summer of love. Did you see the Lord, like the spontaneous concert?
I heard about it.
So that he thinks is going to be typifying the summer. Green Day
it's just
apparently
going to be lots of happenings.
Happenings like spontaneous happenings, spontaneous concerts, spontaneous parties, flash mobs, and I think that's really fitting. I think
that's
like
funny because you mentioned that, like just this sort of like random stuff. I think I was just checking my phone, and Jessica Pratt and Cameron Winter are, I think, in like a couple days, just doing a random free pop up concert in Central Park.
That exactly. This is going to be the vibe.
Totally random.
And I think it's Pluto Aquarius, Neptune Aries. This like Neptune Aries is like this potential for spontaneous action. Pluto Aquarius is like this energizing of the people. So it certainly does feel like that.
Randonauting summer.
Randonauting to flash mob.
Whimsy app. That's actually that's fucking that's a cool vibe. Is like a bunch of people randonaut and start dancing together. You all end up in the
all
same
different
place.
all their different spaces. Should we start with the topics that we've been asked?
Yeah. But sure. Terrible addition. But this random crypto project that's like one of the least insufferable ones, this thing called Goblin Town, did like a weird thing in New York where they like had this very strange goblin, or what's the Brazilian word? Duende? What were we saying earlier? Duende. It was a truck of goblins where you could go play video games, but free shit this summer. Sure, I'll go through some of them. Some of them are quick ones, but favorite Ween song?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. Let me check my phone, because off the top of my head I could probably name one, but then I'll think about it and realize that I had the wrong answer.
My favorite is Pork Roll, Egg and Cheese. I think it's off of The Pod, and then
it is.
Roses Are Free. I think is a very pretty and beautiful. Then I don't know. Now it's like what Diener was talking about. I think is probably their most beautiful song.
I would agree with that.
I like Ween. I have a great love for Ween because I really love New Hope, where they're from, New Hope, Pennsylvania. They're like almost a New Jersey band. They're very close to being a New Jersey band, but they are truly a New Hope, Pennsylvania band.
It's beautiful.
I think If you could save yourself, you'd save us all. It's the one I listen to a lot.
I know. Fucking Quebec is such a good record.
I was probably going to say what Diener was talking about. That's probably the one I go back to the most. Either that or Freedom of 76. I mean, Chocolate and Cheese is, I mean, truly like one of the best.
And the best album cover ever.
Yeah.
Just boobs. The boobies.
There's another one. I like Birthday Boy. It's off of God Ween Satan. It's one of their earlier tracks. All of Quebec. It's so hard to say. I will say, I also like the Argus. The Argus is very good. I like the Argus. I lost my virginity to the Argus, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. This is from the same person, but top 5 animals with a time limit of 40 seconds maximum. We could go around the horn and do this.
Okay.
All right. Top 5 animals.
All right.
You go first.
Nigerian dwarf goat. Southeastern box turtle. Bullfrog. Blue turtle. I forgot what you call them. You see them around here in like South Carolina. Then I'd probably like opossums a lot, and then I'd have to go with the good old donkey.
Okay. Hedgehog, kitty cat, owl, barn owl, muddy, dirty puppy,
specifically
Uncle Bow.
It's pretty good. Owl was going to be my number one. Owl, spider, penguin for sentimental reasons. Goats. Lydia just got a goat. It was very fun to hang out with that goat.
Oh yeah.
When was this?
She has 2 goats, I think, now, actually.
She should have brought it to the Chaos event.
True. Probably just cats. Kitty cat, Uncle Bow, also honorable mention. Or I like, there's this one cat, this is a deep cut for fans of strange-looking cats, but he is a cat, and his name is Chair. It's become a nickname of mine at a company I work with, is Chair Blattman, instead of Blair Chapman. But Chair
Catman.
He's like a small cat in someone's hand, and it's like clutching him. It's a famous photo on that like pet finder website that went viral, and it's when all the cats have like ridiculous names like Motor Oil or something, and then it's like an image of a cute matching cat, but Chair is being like clutched. Then it was people made 3D renders of it in like Skyrim and stuff that you could like harvest him. All right.
I have a topic. I have a quick thing.
Right, get in there.
I was having dinner with friends of the pod, the Big One magazine, and something that was brought up was a breakup, and in this breakup, a girl identified as the dog, and her boyfriend as the lion. During the breakup, this was like a topic, like a subject of the breakup.
Like she empathizes with the dog?
No, she feels like she is the dog, and the boyfriend breaking up is the lion. She felt. This is how powerful of a meme it is. This is how you know it's a good meme, is when people are feeling it, using it. You know, it's real.
It becomes hyper real.
Hyper real, and our Frank Booth prediction, our Frank Booth meme idea has spread memetically.
Makes me think of Young and the container and the containee, but I feel like maybe the natural assumption would be that the lion is the container, but I feel like it's like 2 swords pointed at each other in a sense. Okay, I think the lion memes, as the meme has died, have all become like the lion is actually very insecure, and he is prideful out of a protective mechanism.
We know that's not true.
Weak people also want to be the lion.
This is true. The weak people can only imagine a weak lion.
Exactly. Whereas we imagine a lion committing things we can't even talk about.
friend of the pod, the Lion.
He's coming on next week. We've got a great lineup of guests on the way. This is starting a new era. All right. We have thoughts on people who blatantly repost your work without credit. LOL is one of the questions, Ben.
This is well known. I may seem a lot more uptight about that, but for the most part, I don't really care unless it's like an account that like is 10 times bigger than mine, and you can tell that they're monetized and they get money off of it. And at that point I do have a problem and I'll call them out. But there's dozens and dozens of other accounts. Like I'll make a post, it'll get reposted by some other accounts, and then other people will repost and just not credit anybody. I'm not going to chase them down. I don't give a shit. So what I do to combat that is I put blatantly false information into my posts. I make up lies to make the post more interesting, and that way, when someone reposts for me, if I need to, I can have a gotcha moment. Like I completely made that up.
This is a classic method. This is the
And a lot of these other
street.
accounts, also do it. There's this thing. This guy made this post, and he made up a lie about Mads Mikkelsen being the reason why like smoking went up by like 100% in his home country, and he just made it completely up for the post. But that thing has been reposted like on various platforms like hundreds of times, and he just made it up on the spot.
This actually reminds me. There was back when I was a young lad in the Facebook groups. I was in these Thelema groups, and I knew the guy who made up the Barbara Bush is the child of Aleister Crowley myth, conspiracy. And just last night, actually, you saw what I sent you, Blair. Abdullah Hashem.
Was that the little singing child?
No. Abdullah Hashem is like claiming to be the successor to Muhammad, and he is the reincarnation of Alexander the Great. Directly, remember we talked about like Karim Du Kabain, like the two-horned one? Yeah. He's like, I am the two-horned one. I am the child of the West and the East, and I am the inheritor of all that is in between. Did you see this? It's like a young guy. It's like maybe like a 30-something.
No, but I saw something on Twitter like a month ago about how there is like ties from Muhammad down to like the royal family or something.
There's blood ties, like you can trace the lineage from him down to like, because people in the royal family, they're some of the last great Orientalists, and that obviously that goes way back, and so somewhere in their bloodline, I can't remember who, a couple of years ago, they had some sultans or whatever marry into the family, or some half sultans or something like that. And so anyway, the Queen of England was by blood potentially a descendant of Muhammad. Like there was records to prove it.
And this guy claims to be a direct. He claims to be a direct descendant, and he's an American. He's an American. He was born in America.
He would be,
but the cult, and it's a sizable cult, operates in England. But this is my theory. He is kind of espousing a very liberal form of Islam. I think that he is MI6. He is like, kind of taming the English Muslims. Like, oh, you don't have to wear a hijab, you can drink, you can be gay, like, which is good. Like, I mean, ultimately, like, it's better than having fundamentalism. But it's funny that they're just doing Dune. They're like, we're just going to make up a guy. He looks cool, though. I will be for real.
I'm a descendant of someone else very well known, a very known royal. Have I ever told you who it was before? I don't know if I mentioned this to you, because I don't think I've ever talked about it on the account. But through my grandfather's side, I'm an illegitimate descendant of Empress Catherine the Great of Russia, through an affair that she had with a Polish duke.
That's awesome.
Meaningless being born in America with this. And in fact, her grandchild moved to Savannah, Georgia, and wrote this giant-ass letter like explaining all the lineage, everything or whatever. And there's some funny quippets in there, like associate with no lowborn. And at the very end, it says, like, I sign myself off for the last time in America, Countess Birowski or whatever. It was very funny. That being said, I mean, it's outside of like some circumstantial proof and like some oil portraits of the alleged bastard son. There's no way to really prove it. I don't think you can do a DNA test to prove that. So it's more of just like it's more of a party game piece of information.
See, I have the American royalty. I'm Vanderbilt. Distant
Chris
cousin.
Gabriel Vanderbilt.
Distant cousin of Anderson Cooper.
Close friend of the pod, Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, I met Anderson Cooper the first time that I was at Shangri-La. That was the day they did that 60 Minutes interview. That was like the meme, like, I don't play any instruments.
When the unipolar world shatters and BRICS rises, Finn will go to Russia to reclaim his mantle. Chris, you're going to Mongolia.
You can inherit. You can re-inherit. You can go to war and reclaim your rightful title. You just need like a little teenage saint girl.
Nah, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not rightful because it's through a woman. They won't accept it. Yeah, but also I remember a couple years ago I was really into it, and so I was like researching because obviously after the Bolsheviks killed off the Romanovs family because they couldn't they were legitimately horrible rulers. I mean, they weren't good at it at all. If I remember correctly, I'm not very good with history, but there's like 6, maybe 7 people who have like strong claims to the supposed no longer existing throne, and unfortunately one of the strongest is this Turkish guy. So I mean, if he starts strong arming it, I might have to put my foot in the ring. Anything to keep him an Ottoman off of the chair. I'll do.
On the topic of inheritance and reclaiming the throne, what are our thoughts on the Pope dying?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Rip Papa.
You post that meme, and he's just a kid. He's barely
He's 88.
I saw an image of him kissing like a Sudanese. I might be fucking that up. Dude's like leader's feet, and I'm honestly out of the loop. People didn't like him, right? Because he was like too New World Ordery, right? Like.
Yes. One of the least popular with the trad. The trad, which is so fucking funny. The whole point of being Catholic is the infallibility of the Pope.
Exactly. But I realize this is mostly an issue with American Catholics.
Yes.
But
even
my American Catholic friends would be like, I'm not sure if he's senile or something like that, but I'll still die for him or something like that.
I think it's deeply against the American ethos to believe in the infallibility of a single man, other than Donald Trump.
Yeah. Other than Dad.
Is it true that the 2 runner-ups, it's like a black dude and a Chinese dude?
No.
Filipino. Swagapino.
That is what I know. I do think
Swagapino's got to win.
I want the Swagapino.
The Filipinos are the most powerful. They're the most powerful race.
Have you seen that video? It's 5 Filipinos versus almost 15 Mexicans.
Yes.
That was like one of the first things my girlfriend made me watch. And she's not Filipino, obviously, but she looked at me afterwards just like Filipino power because they're Latino.
I think the swag culture was so deeply Filipino.
That's the meme on TikTok.
I'm not feeling Chinese. I'm feeling Filipino.
Sean and I were at La Poubelle yesterday, and there was a girl there who looked like 2004. It was amazing. Like straight out of 2004. It was crazy.
I know those people. I've met people like that.
It's funny when it's a random encounter.
It's also funny because tomorrow. That's the inspo is that like Tumblr fucking derp. Maybe not the derp finger, but you know what I mean. I love
It's
those like
also
videos in the escalator where it's all the Filipinos like posted up and they got the. I'm
yeah.
like torn for the thumbnail for this video if it should be that or it should be the Brazilian goblin.
Finn, tell us what your thoughts on the Pope are as an Orthodox Christian.
I honestly, when I was a lot younger and perhaps less well read into stuff like that, I probably had just a natural hostility towards Catholicism because the teaching that we get is, we get a little bit of a brush of Catholicism, and they have this sort of idea that dogma can change over time to suit the environment, and people can, it's like people can mine new dogma, new ideas. They're out there. There's more diamonds. You just have to keep going. And so it's like to me it seemed like monkeys on the typewriter. Like people can come up with new ideas that fit in and lock in. And whereas for Orthodox, it's like everything is already there. No new stuff. That's it. And so all the Orthodox books that you'll read is like all the newer ones will either be like stories of the saints or stories about monasteries. One of my favorite books growing up is called Everyday Saints by Archimandrite Tikhon, and it's just about living in a monastery in 80s Ukraine, 70s, 80s Ukraine, and it's an incredible book because there's a lot of like crazy stories about criminals coming into the monastery like pretending to be pilgrims and then like they're hiding from like the police or something like that. Just all sorts of like interesting quips that also to me was like a look into just what life was like in the Soviet Union or whatever. It's very interesting. But as time goes on and the more I learned about like Pope Francis, I was like, he's a cool dude. He's from Argentina. I like the Argentina music. I don't care about football or soccer, but I thought he was cool, and I hope the Filipino gets it.
Do you do your mass in English?
Our my church does, and we call it liturgy, not mass, but it's for the most part it's pretty much the same thing. Um, but some churches they'll do it all in Greek. If some Greek churches will do it all in Greek. Some Russian churches will do it all in Russian. Some Russian churches will do it all in English. It really just depends. There's no like strict rules about it. But if it's a church where 95% of the people going there are Bulgarian, they're just going to do it in Bulgarian. And maybe at the end of the service, they'll do the sermon in English as well. And that'll be it.
Filipino Catholic Church
Oh, yeah.
in swag.
They do it in swag.
I would love to see a pope do one of those squats.
I'd like to see a pope with a tumbler.
True.
I think
there is this. Oh, hold on. There's this video I saw today of I forgot what his name is, but the Filipino cardinal, and he's on stage and he's doing karaoke to John Lennon's Imagine, and the comments are, "What's the problem? He's Filipino. They love karaoke." It's like
right
let him
now.
sing because it's funny. I think for the Philippines and like Thailand and Malaysia, they love karaoke. It is like their favorite. It's one of like the favorite pastimes. You don't have to be a good singer. You just need to have heart.
Oh my god, that's making me think of you know who loves fucking karaoke is Chinese people too.
Really?
Yeah.
Jack Ma.
I mean Korea but I
And Japan, yeah. I mean, that's karaoke. I mean, it's from the East. Y'all love it.
there's this time I'm gonna supersede it. So two stories come to mind. One is friend of the pod Marcus lived in a uh, Orthodox monastery for quite some time, and I went and visited him up in Boston, or like we kind of went back to the same one, and I got to attend a liturgy and or mass and eat with them afterwards. The food was pretty crazy. It was like yogurt with croutons. It was very simple but tasty.
That this was at the monastery.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Um, But with karaoke, there's another. I don't want to dox too many names, but I was with a Chinese billionaire's child who took me to a very scary um, karaoke bar in the middle of like the warehouse, like East LA, and I thought I was going to be killed.
Chopped up.
And there were these these fucking videos playing. They had Bud Light there. That was all they had was Bud Light and ramen. And there were these videos playing outside of the main karaoke TV where it was just like Chinese space race propaganda, where it was like there's like just diagrams of like fucking like rockets being like constructed rapidly, and it's like by 2040 we are going to do this. I think
I
that
believe it.
was an early attempt to MK Ultra me into
Do
the
you
Sino
think that
Future podcast.
JD Vance killed the Pope?
I think being in the presence of someone you strongly dislike at an old age can kill you.
I think that's true. I agree. I agree with you completely.
But also it's one of those things where it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. If we say it's true and our hearts believe it's true, it becomes true.
Well, I think Vance has been really memetically charged. Like
he is. We've made him powerful. Before
yes,
he was a nobody.
I agree. I agree completely. The memes empowered him.
We made him powerful.
Like the
Because he was so
Zelensky
weak.
the Zelensky breakup, entirely due to JD Vance meme power. Pope death, JD Vance meme power. And have you seen? Apparently, India and Pakistan are going to be going to war right after JD Vance's visit.
Wait, they're gonna like hold on for a second.
They're about to go to war.
Yeah, I mean, are like we're gonna postpone a week after JD Vance is gone.
I think he just visited. He already went.
Okay. Oh, his presence sparked it. I
Yes.
understand. Yeah, I mean, before he was a weak, impossible, unimportant man, but because of collected distaste and misunderstanding or whatever, we've made him powerful.
Bemusement.
It's like the more you think about somebody, the more powerful they become. They don't even need to know you. It's just, rent free or whatever.
I'm simulating a future right now where he wins after Trump, and then he has Blake Masters as his VP, and we're like in a fully teal-controlled U.S., and Blake Masters is like the evil Slender Man. Like, I feel like JD Vance, I was the biggest hater for the longest time because I was like,
I thought he was.
could they not get like a better-looking dude if they're gonna try this? Could they not get someone like who's?
I always thought he was
someone
too fat for Congress. Could I have a little?
I mean,
cheese?
I still don't like any of them, but
The purple one.
I'm not saying I like him. I think the memes are funny though. I get why it works.
It is a plus. It is some sort of like neutral entertainment comes out of it that doesn't make your stomach upset every time you see it. It's just like, oh, here's this asshole again, and now he looks even funnier this time.
As an experiment, I am just curious to see. Because he's a millennial, right? Like, he's like the eldest millennial. They skipped Gen X. I think he is the closest thing to like an AOC in that he is. I want to see younger people in office. I'm like fascinated by
Mr. Beast.
True.
In fact, but what we should do is
Mr. Beast will be the governor of California.
I think Mr. Beast should be the Pope. Mr. Beast for Pope. Fulfill Antichrist prophecy in 2025.
20 years in the conclave. Whatever happened to that?
It doesn't matter. Mr. Beast has done such a service to God that he. I thought it was that any like Catholic of age could become Pope. Like in the old, because there used to be very young popes in the old days. It's only recently that we've gotten this fucking ancient Pope nonsense. They were crazy.
It's probably because the young ones, people got tired of them and just started killing them.
The young ones were always like, oh, fucking
people like
orgying.
5 years, he'll pass in his sleep and he'll be forgotten. Yep. Once you murder somebody, nobody's forgetting them.
Thank you.
They're gonna be around forever.
You want to have an Ava cameo on the pod? Poke her head in.
Blair says, "Come cameo on the pod."
The idea
covering
of
up a contentious T-shirt right now.
The idea of the Pope at orgies is like horrifying.
I think it's very normal. If I were Pope, I would do that.
Do you think Francis was at orgies?
No.
No.
Hello.
Hi, Ava.
How's it going, you guys?
This is
to
good. Corroborate that Chris knows women for the incel fans of meme analysis.
It was good.
Yeah. How's the pod going?
It's going around.
All right, I'm going to find one more question. We can ask Ava this question. What gives you hope/will to live? Everyone has to answer this one.
It's a lot of little things. Nature, seeing the people I care about smile.
What the fuck was the question?
Dirty Muddy Puppy.
Dirty Muddy Puppy.
What does Dirty Muddy Puppy make you think about?
No.
Did you not hear it? Oh, yeah, you get. It was what gives you will to live?
Bitterness. Spite, resentment for people. People I went to high school with, elementary school with. Anger that I have toward the slightest insults from decades ago. That is what keeps me going. Pure hatred. That was so good.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course I love you.
What about you, Finn?
It was a delightful piece of provolone cheese.
I love cheese.
I love cheese.
What keeps me going? New things to see. The world's bigger than you think.
I know you have to come journey with us.
Listen, dude. I'll come out to LA. I'll come out to LA as soon as possible, man.
I think we.
Speaking of Blair, you have to come back. I was talking about it with Sean. We need you back here.
Where are you, Blair?
In Texas.
The hell?
Or we all relocate to Paris or London with him.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but LA. I am coming back in like a week or two. I have to make a top secret MIA trip to Mexico first, but
when you're in Mexico, go to the secondhand bookstores and the antique stores and grab as many. Do you know what yellow press and red press magazines are?
No, what are those?
From I think 50s until like even now, there were magazines that posted explicitly like, people who were murdered or brutal car crashes or magic related stuff. I'll send you some information on it, but they're collectively known as like yellow press or red press. And so it'll literally front cover will be somebody's like guts on the road who's like chopped in half with a machete or something like that. And you can they're literally just in antique stores because Mexico's living on a very surreal isle of the world.
I know we had a phone call, the three of us, a couple days ago, and we were talking a little bit about Burroughs, and I commiserate. I haven't read a lot of Burroughs, but what I have read, I like a lot. Cities of the Red Night is extremely.
I haven't read that one, but I want to.
That's my vibe on Mexico. Is I feel like that the Mexico he describes there is like Jodo's Mexico. It's like these strange indigo siblings.
Everybody that I talk to that goes there a lot, like really loves it, and it is apparently just as strange still.
That's good. I think I've mentioned this to you, Chris, but have you gotten around to reading The Spiritual Journey of Alejandro Jodorowsky?
No. It's his autobio?
Yeah, but it's about living in Mexico City and like living and working with the Surrealists. And there's like a point in there where he's talking about like, Diego Rivera would eat parts of human before like making his paintings and stuff like that. And I'm looking this up. This is nowhere, but I completely believe him because I think he's from Argentina or he's from Chile. Anyway, nobody from South America has ever lied before. But it's just a lot of incredible stuff, and it's super easy to read. But it's just kind of like, wow, this guy's just randomly finding like this witch or whatever that starts like covering his body in oil and like starts rubbing it off with like discs and stuff to like clean him. He's living with like a Japanese Zen Buddhist priest, and there's this part where they're going over like the cones, and he's like, this is bullshit. And the Zen Buddhist priest like hits him with a shovel every time he gets mad. And then it's just like he's in some sort of like BDSM relation.
5:30
yeah,
a.m.
like
beating.
every time he says the wrong thing, the priest is allowed to just hit him as hard as he wants. And the priest is living there. Assumedly, he's not paying rent.
Have you heard or have you seen the films of Buñuel? Louis Buñuel?
No. Let me look
He's
him up.
so good. Have you ever seen like the apple getting cut in half?
The apple?
The eyeball getting cut with a razor.
Yeah, but I thought that was I did that. I thought that was what's his face?
Dali.
Yeah, I thought that was
Dali and Buñuel.
Oh, okay.
He's amazing. Cannot recommend highly enough. He was one of the Mexico City people, one of the Mexico City surrealists.
Speaking on surreal short films, I think I suggested you to check out the Forbidden Files.
Oh, that's right, the TV show. Yes.
Yeah. Have you gotten around to it yet? I mean, you can binge the entire thing in like 2 hours, which is what I did. I think it's on the Internet Archive if they haven't taken it down yet. But it's late 80s France. I forgot the director's name, but he would make these 5 to 20 minute long like snippets that are supposed to be this is like some of the earliest like found footage horror stuff. And it'll be like these men are traveling through, the Andes or whatever in search of, this magical tribe or whatever. And, they're following like this guy to go to his father's place, and then they go out and suddenly everybody but the cameraman is like disappearing, and the camera's on the rocks. So there's just like people like zipping across like miles over. It's super. I mean, obviously it's not real, but it's just super fascinating.
Were we with Joe Dark when you were telling me this at the park in
Probably
like Washington Square Park, maybe?
Yes.
Was Lily Adams or was it Kendall that was there?
I don't remember Kendall, but I know Lily.
Joe Dark moment.
I hope maybe I do remember Kendall, but
I think it might have just been Lily.
Yeah, because I don't want a Kendall to listen to this and be hurt.
Isn't it crazy how much of like the creepypasta like YouTube found footage is just them stealing like surreal art and like cutting it up into random compilations?
Well, do you know that movie Begotten?
No.
It's like a pseudo silent film, and they're like, and it's famous, I think, almost solely because people are like, this movie's director committed suicide while making the movie. This movie's cursed. This is an evil movie. But it's like it's very obviously an art project. But a lot of the like classic X and B GIFs, like horror GIFs, are from this film. I believe it's Begotten, right? Begotten.
It's with the
mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find this. I'm positive that it is.
I've seen that. There used to be like a 90s shirt that had that and said God is dead, Earth is alive, or something like that.
But it is Begotten. I know 1989 Begotten.
But
I've not
seen it.
The Abuse of Nature by Man. We are more interested in the abuse of man by nature, by the lion.
The man can't be the lion. The lion is nature.
You know about like in Zarathustra, like the evolution of the spirit from I think it's like camel to lion to child.
I think so. You also need to check out, I told you this before, but I'm putting it out in the pod so other people can check it out too. The Calgary Gideon Keys.
I remember.
I love the Gideon Keys, man.
Do you know them?
I love the Gideon Keys.
Dude, I know. Like nobody else knows him, and
Low-key,
it was even harder. I want to say 5 years ago when I first came across them. I think I saw like a YouTube comment mention them, and I was searching it up. It's like one abandoned like media wiki or something like that had like all of them on there, and I spent like a week slowly going through each one, like processing them or whatever. Because I mean, you could probably sit down and go through all of them in a couple hours, but it's just felt better to eat them slowly. But it was just so weird.
secret MIA podcast lore. We had a movie. Maybe one day this will come out. Parts of it were shot. I'm pretty sure a huge part of that movie, the ideation from it, came after me. Someone compiled all of the Gideon keys and put them together in like a multi-hour thing, and I used to like listen to.
I saw that, and then I found the guy who made the video, and I shot him because he used a robot.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure I like was like half asleep listening to that, and like what one part of that movie is like extremely similar to the Gideon keys.
Which part is it? Does it involve the record?
That one? Okay, that's a good story.
Yeah, I was talking to Josetta, our second film star, and I was talking about it with Grant too, about the collapse of that film by virtue of chaos agents.
Yeah, it wasn't time yet, but Mexico will put us in the time portal so we can go back into film.
I think creepypastas are going to come back in a way.
Did you see my creepypasta videos during October? I was making some creepypasta videos. I used to make creepypasta videos about my analyses of creepypastas. I think creepypastas are super fucking important because it allows, any random 11-year-old to be Sutter Kane, to like literally cause murders. Like the Slender Man inventor, Jeff the Killer. Like there are child copycats of these creepypastas. It's amazing. Amazing
let's
stuff.
Not take credit away from the children.
That's what I'm saying. It's the children
who committed these murders by hand, who got
by influence of another child.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the stories became real through
who really held the knife. Was it the one with the pen or the child murderer?
It is actually the Slender Man, the Jeff the Killer's man. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Jeff the Kills you.
It was Bob.
I don't know. I just I like the fact about creepypastas is sometimes you don't know who the fuck wrote them or where it came from. I like the idea that that people sometimes can't find the source image that comes along with it. I think there's some of them that people still haven't found. They haven't found the original. I think they haven't found the actual original Jeff the Killer one.
No, we do know Jeff the Killer.
There was something I think, or maybe they can't find the identity of the person.
We know Smile Dog, Jeff the Killer, like all the but I do agree there are some that are truly.
I think they don't know the identity of the woman in the photo is what's missing. They don't know who it is, and there's like, oh, she committed suicide or something like that. So it's a double suicide. It's a double like creepypasta. She got bullied for being fat and killed herself.
Awesome. Where would a child even post a creepypasta now?
What's the name of that guy on TikTok that the one everyone loved, who's like the creature?
Offlane.
Yeah, that's where the new creepypasta is, the AI video stories about Tim Cheese and stuff.
Wait. Do you think TikTok is I don't think it could be TikTok because it has to be a lasting, it has to be a written story, I think.
Yeah, the problem is nowadays people, ever since, was it Cicada 333 or whatever it was, that ARG, people have gotten mad anytime something that was similar to an ARG has come up. People will call, oh, this is just fake, and they'll cast it away. They don't care.
I think ARGs are generally pretty horrible, though. Like that's the problem is that it is a very difficult medium, and most of them are just so blatant and disgustingly obvious that they're not fun. But deviant art is where Jeff the Killer was posted, and I think deviant art is still active. It seems. I don't know if it's as popular, but it should be.
We'll find ways. We will find ways.
A creepypasta medium, a Sutter Kane medium.
I'm thinking maybe one of the other Chans, not 4chan. Did that happen this week? The 4chan takedown thing?
I think it was about a week ago. It was about like a week and a half ago, I think.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about it on the last one. Let's see.
Yeah. It's back now, I think, right?
Is it?
Is it?
That's what I saw a tweet about that today. But I mean, I don't think it's surprising that was a heavily compromised place. That's the only takeaway.
Yeah, 4chan went down a week and a half ago. And 4chan is back, yes.
As someone who spent an inordinate amount of time there, like 12 years ago, I feel like I missed the era that it was even not fully compromised. Like back then, that was all people talked about. Not to use this word, but everyone was a new fag then, and be like, "Can you do this fucking indentation posting?" Good question was, what are his dreams? Some special interests / obsessions? This was a question for you, Finn. What are some secret dreams, secret obsessions?
Secret, like, I'm fairly open. I don't know. I don't think there's any secret ones except for the ones I'm gatekeeping so other people can't get there first. There are things that I want to have in my collection, get my hands on, and then perhaps blow up the spot afterwards. After I've spent my money on it, and before value rises.
The Brazilian alien goblin smut.
I heard a story. I heard an alien story this week. A guy was given an alien magic wand, and apparently it was like 99.99% pure magnesium. And the dude was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want scientists to study it." And it's obvious. I mean, number one, it's an obvious fake. Just starting from there, and he cuts it into 3 pieces and gives each scientist, all of these different scientists, a part of it. And there's like one part with a triangle with a holographic thing inside. There are nodules, and it's very rough looking. It's not. It's very obviously a fake, but there are these stories of alien metals that are left after crashes. And then perhaps my favorite. Have you heard of the alien pancakes?
No. Can I get them at Waffle House?
If one day, soon.
One day. We're working on it.
We're working on the Waffle House will have the alien pancakes. But the aliens make pancakes and they give them to this farmer. And he kept some of the pancakes, and the pancakes were like strange materials. Let me see what this guy's name was.
Strange.
So question, what did the pancakes do to his teeth?
They just tasted bad. They tasted bland. All right, this is called the
They were
Eagle.
I know what they were. They were buckwheat pancakes.
The Eagle.
And he had syrup on them.
They look like honeycomb.
Gluten intolerance.
I'm
pretty sure in Neopets there's like a category of items that is strange pancakes. It's like a fucking trait descriptor for the item.
I couldn't see any heated grill nor flames, yet he seemed to be cooking or frying cakes. I was interested in them, and the man in the hatchway noted my interest, and walked over and scooped up some of them and gave them to me. They looked somewhat like pancakes. They didn't talk. Let's see though, what were they made of? They were rubbery or elastic. Had an aroma similar to goose.
Mochi pancakes in Japan colorized.
Goose grease. They smelled like goose grease. They were made of wheat, flour, sugar, and grease. But no salt. No salt.
Do aliens need salt? Is that just an S thing?
Only humans and animals. See, that's the thing. Like, the goat, the mammal loves salt. The alien loves sugar.
Really? I'll keep this out next time I'm having dinner with a stranger. I'll see which shaker they reach for first.
Do you have a sugar shaker?
Not at my house. Well, actually, yes, I do at my house. Of course, I have a sugar shaker.
I feel like the sugar shaker is like a giant.
I'm part alien myself.
Yeah, it's like a thing you
with
put
the
your
little
coffee
hatch.
in. Yeah.
I don't know if that
aliens
counts as a shaker.
Well, I'm shaking. So. Because I don't know if this guy's an alien or not.
Get this guy on some Adderall. You need too much sugar. Hyperactive.
I can't wait to. I would give an alien my Adderall.
Do you think aliens like watch us and they're envious of our cuisines and culture and they want to make things like us?
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
They're rockabilly aliens for sure. They got the salvage denims. They get to the thrift stores before us.
That's why they abduct people. They're taking like the cool shit.
They're taking measurements.
Messaging me
they're
on
taking
Depop
measurements
and lowballing me. It's fucking aliens trying to.
I do, but I think aliens are unable to enjoy the sensual pleasures. This is one of the big things about them is that they're like unable to fuck. They cannot reproduce naturally, which is why they're constantly like stealing semen, stealing cummies, and I think it's probably the same way with food. Would I make an alien come?
Could you?
They can't come. That's the whole thing. Aliens are #nevergoon to the point where they're unable to sustain their species.
You have to be alien maxing.
You have to be
#nevergoon.
All extensive internet users are alien maxed.
What's the Aryan alien called again? The
Nordics.
No, the Nordics gooning.
The
Nords. It starts with the P.
Are any of the alien species gooning?
Yeah.
The Pleiadians.
That's what when you stop gooning,
you become
that's the alien you turn into. The Pleiadians.
I see the Pleiadians. Well, the thing is that the Pleiadians, they are the Nords. Pleiadians are Nordic aliens, is the way to put it. Like,
Earth
Nordic is like the style of blonde humanoid. But when, because some of them are fucking Arcturians or blah, 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 blah. That was something we talked about a little while ago, was how aliens, after, science advanced to a certain point where we knew there was no life on other planets in our solar system, they're like, oh, never mind. We're not from Venus. We're from fucking Arcturus. We're from Regulus. We're from Zeta Reticuli. They have to keep moving, like the god of the gaps.
Exactly. We've unmasked these areas or whatever, and now they can reach out to us. So probably before we even learned about, we always knew about the other planets, so they've probably always been coming from our solar system.
I think they did, spiritually, just like Goetic demons are of the nature of Mars. They are from Mars. And it just, that story no longer works for humans. So they tell a different one.
We have a MIA member asking for thoughts on William Blake and also thoughts on Japan.
I don't know enough about William Blake to say. No, I haven't indulged enough. Thoughts on Japan? I have no interest in visiting there.
Why?
Because like everybody, I want to go to Europe. I want to backtrack. I want to go through Europe. I want to go to the flea markets in Europe. They're much better. The reason why I always post so much Japanese stuff is I have a connection there who can get me the stuff for cheap, and I can resell it and I never take like any losses or whatever. I always break even or I make something off of it. So for that, I'm happy. And also a lot of the stuff that they have over there, it's never been digitized before. They've had very unique art scenes and like movements and stuff like that. So there's endless content for me to like leech out of Japan.
Capitalist
Evil
capitalist.
Exactly. It is purely like a capitalist thing. I like ramen. I don't need to go across the ocean to have some. I don't care about cherry trees.
You're the opposite of the Japan like Wojak. That's like
I know I know about the art and the culture, but I don't care about it in the way that a lot of other people do. I don't like anime. There's like there's a I'll say one or two, but there's maybe like 10 different animes that I like, but I don't like Demon Slayer or all the other ones. I like, I like the really basic ones.
Do you like
I like
Brazilian
Cowboy.
Luffy?
No, I don't even care for that. I like Akira and Evangelion, like the really basic ones.
I think I think Ghibli is the best of anime.
Oh yeah, and Ghibli.
Let's talk about knives. I want to show off some good knives. I think the MIA should own weapons.
Y'all talk about knives. I'll be back with some knives in a second.
Cool. Awesome.
I have one knife in the house I could go find.
What is it?
It's actually you gave it to Banner, and I think he left it.
Oh yeah. Bring that out. That's a good one.
All right, I'm gonna hit pause and I'll go look for one. All right, we're back. I have a knife.
Beautiful. Who wants to? Who shall start?
I'll go first because Chris, I actually told you about these before when you were visiting. That a couple years ago, my grandfather went to a local garage sale and he got 2 of these stilettos for like $20. This is I think this is like the stiletto. It says like Rizzuto Stiletto Milano.
Beautiful.
It's like from the 50s or 60s.
The top, the guard slides down. Is that it? Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And this other one, it just says Milano on it. It's a lot smaller.
Cute.
And the guard is a lot more annoying. You got to like press down.
It's a pony.
Is that how do you? It's a button.
Yeah, they're both button. They're both button. But for this one to retract it, pressing the button doesn't do anything. You need to like move the guard, which is interesting.
Carve up a guy named Soda Bottle Cap with that knife.
Oh yeah, I carved up a guy.
At the soda
I
bar.
carved up a guy named Spruce Twig with this one. He's real pretty now. He looks like a bear.
We always
I don't have anything that cool. This is my brother's knife. Chris gave it to him. I'm not old enough for a knife yet. But
hold on, bro. Hold that against the length of your palm. You need to make sure it's not too long, bro.
I can talk. I can tell you about that. That's an important knife. That knife is very popular with Algerians. It's a very popular French Foreign Legion knife. They would
untapped market.
It's in the style of my favorite. This is my favorite style of knife. Is like a folded metal.
It says Duk Duk on it.
Duk Duk. So like some kinds of an evil witch god. He's on it. The witch god is on it.
He's the lion.
I don't know if he's lion.
Made in France. That's cool. Yeah, the witch god is here. Oh my god, he looks crazy. I don't know if people can see that.
They're very flat. It's like a super flat blade. They were used to assassinate people all the time. They're very easy to. They'd hammer the handle so that it was just a fixed blade, and it was so flat you could just like keep it on you flush and kill somebody. Wow. So they were very.
How much do they go for? I might get one.
They're cheap. They're very cheap knife. It's like $15-$20. Really? Yep. It's really cheap.
Because it's definitely something that you would buy and dispose of immediately.
They are extremely difficult to open. That's the one issue that I have with them. Mm. They're very similar to a Mercator, which is my favorite knife. I don't have one here, but the Mercator is a bit more advanced.
Speaking of assassins, not to hijack the conversation, I'm trying to remember. You have my copy of the Book of Breathing, right?
Yes.
Or do I still have that?
I have.
Have you gone through it?
Yes. I love it. The Order of the Assassins.
Yeah, I need it back, bro.
No. All right.
And the exit collection. I want to get those back because I want to scan from the exit collection because I realize there's not much of it online.
I will get it to you. All right.
Wait, what is the Book of Breathing? I'm saying A Court of Thorn and Roses.
It's a William Burroughs book.
It's like Breetheething.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Actually, depending on the edition, breathing is spelled differently. Because later editions he would add extra e's or something. But it's one of like the rarer Burroughs books because they were only made like these limited edition like paper long copies or whatever. I think it's hard to get one for less than 150.
A miniature novelty switchblade.
It's calling to me like the Green Goblin.
It's very cute. Got it at a convenience store. Now we get into some more interesting knives. This is what I've been carrying as of late. Higanakami. This was the one,
the Americana Pipe Dream.
The one lasting influence of The Boy and the Heron was the use of this knife in the film. It's like a very, very simple Japanese hand knife. Like the duk-duk, it is like a single piece of folded metal with a blade. There's no lock other than this little tab that you hold. They're very good steel. That's like the cell. It's like a very quality blade. I think they're cute. I think they're tiny and fun. Now, these are some of Ava's that I like. This is a made in America blade. It's called a Christie knife. It is also an out the front. It does not fold. You have a little button that you press, and you can hold it. It's got like 3 points where it locks, and then it's hollow, which I think is very cool. Very cute. Then these are, I guess, are getting popular because they're all sold out on the website. But you can still website? Christie knives. They've been the same family forever. I think it's like 1914 or 09 or something. This is a classic French knife, similar to the duk-duk, Opinel. Very simple. This one reminds me a lot of a knife I was given as a child. It has a little like revolving lock.
Oh yeah, I have one of those too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it?
I was only hyped about these two.
They are the fucking switchblades are the best.
I remember I really really liked pocket knives as a kid because my grandfather, because I was in like Cub Scouts, and so they'd only give us these little shitty like Swiss Army knives. It's like all you're allowed to have. But my grandfather would go garage sailing and he would just pick up really cool ones. There was one time where he bought like a 5-gallon bucket and it was just full of these weird novelty knives. But it's not like dragons and stuff, but it was like lots of weird negative space and like weird colors for like the wood and the grain and stuff like that. Like very like 70s. Like
yeah, I have a switchblade like that. I think they were Mexican. I think they were the ones with dragons and shit were these Mexican. It's like resin. Gold.
Yeah, well, there's no, I mean novelty, but like not like souvenir.
Yeah,
just like weird shapes and like colors and like styles of blades. And I think he ended up selling them or something like that because I couldn't find them. But he was like, he told me, he ended up telling me that they're just so cheap and like poor quality.
I'm getting called to do work by my editor. It's very rare. I didn't edit earlier today.
When's the next video?
No, it's writing editing.
Oh.
I don't know when the next video is. Whenever the lion edit is done, I'll post.
Wait, there's another lion edit?
No, we're just going to make a video out of this. Oh,
there's actually two more. Okay. There's a video from the lion snippet of the podcast, but then there's also something that I have Junior Boy cooking up that I think he actually sent me a draft of this morning. I haven't looked at it yet though.
I actually have another meme idea. I'll pitch it to you all, see what you all think. So, one of my favorite memes, you know, the blank versus blank lore, and it's like the You
Yeah,
didn't
no.
have to cut the Hyperborea edit. I think we should do that for the Thoth deck, like Rider-Waite versus Thoth. The Thoth deck is the Hyperborea. It's like, zodiac sign, Hebrew, and then all the fucking crazy symbolism going on.
I
It's
think
just
that
such a full deck.
Neon Genesis fucking do that Tree of Life
Exactly.
thing.
The Tree
Yeah,
of Lives that are in the Book of Thoth, just Aleister Crowley picture. I think it would be great. I think the Rider-Waite deck needs to be knocked down a peg or two. The Thoth deck needs to take its rightful place on top.
that's a good
Every
one that has scalability.
thousands will have the Thoth deck in their everyday carry.
The Thothy.
That reminds me another meme that I liked. We can put it up. You saw I sent it in the group chat last night. I'll send it, Finn, so you can see it if you want.
Mm-hmm. Is there another group chat that I'm not in?
No, just the one that you're in. I mean, yeah, it's like our
Oh, I have the one you just sent, Finn. I saved like 10 of these.
Bronze Age peasants be like, I have my whole life ahead of me. No, you don't. The sea peoples are coming. And then what I had sent you earlier, Blair, the tweet that I love that goes with that.
We are the sea people.
It is. And this is so important. Bronze Age Doomer. Hundreds must die. the scale of human culture, the scale of history is so unimaginable. How small reality was at a time. I think that's a big part of why magic was so common and prevalent, because there was like, all of the, because keep in mind, there is no energy that is lost. The same amount of energy has always existed. The same amount of energy in humanity has always existed. It was just so localized, so focused in on the small group of human beings that existed. I think that's a big part of why magic has disappeared, is that life itself, humanity itself, has become too much. Life is too shit.
Are there totally magicless people?
Yes, most.
Okay, I want to know if it's either it's completely spread out between everyone, and like some people just have a lot less, and some people have a lot more. But if some people can have none, that's probably for the best.
I want to say no one
how do we
has
take
none.
it?
I think everything
There's a
has.
small amount,
Yeah.
but like it's a baseline, like it's the same amount that a cat or a dog has.
I mean, the average cat probably has more than the average human.
I would
Not
agree.
my cats,
I would
bro.
agree.
Your
Well, okay.
cats have no magic?
Are there more cats and dogs than people? Remember we were talking about this?
No, there's not more cats and dogs.
So that's what
How
I'm saying.
many?
The cat magic is less. It's less spread out. It's more focused in.
You don't see black cats walking across your path anymore, bro. What's going on?
How many cats and dogs? How many cats are there in the world? Like kitty cats.
Y'all want to guess? I've got the numbers here.
I'm going to guess there are a tenth as many kitty cats as humans.
No. I would say, I want to guess there's probably about 3 billion cats.
I think Chris is more right. There's 600 million cats.
That's
Really?
it? That's a really small number. So that's what I'm saying. That the magic is spread out only among 600 million. Imagine if there were 600 million
millions
people.
of cats must round. Have you noticed we've gotten the cat language wrong? They don't say meow; they say round.
This is too controversial for the pod.
When you listen
to
a cat speak, they're not meow. They're like round.
We can only talk about Kanye West. We can't talk about cat language.
Incest.
The cousin.
Incest vindicated. Incest is real.
Wincest, man.
Anthony Fantano vindicated.
Anthony Fantano wouldn't be a critic if he had had incest in his childhood.
He could have been a great artist if he'd been molested. True MIA black pill. If you were never molested, you are hopelessly doomed.
So that's a good meme.
Truth nuke.
I like the one too. The green gas station knife calling to me like the Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin, the green honey butter.
Me wanting to stab someone at every moment.
Oh, also apparently, remember did we record an episode about the King in Yellow? Or was that
we definitely talked about?
I know we talked extensively.
What's the King in Yellow? I think I might have heard you talk about it, or I might have heard y'all talk about it.
The book by Robert Chambers.
Have you read The King in Yellow?
That is about to go super mainstream. It was stolen from us by Wendigoon, my dear. The King in Yellow.
Does Wendigoon watch y'all stuff?
It's being made by Wendigoon is doing a video on it.
Say that again?
Does Wendigoon watch y'all stuff?
Now we know he does, yeah, because I think I've been the biggest shooter for the King in Yellow for the past fucking.
Yeah, where did we talked about that? It was like the imperial history of the U.S. Where was that?
A year from now, he will talk about the Gideon Keys. Because there's only so much like creepy content you can do, and it's really hard to do something fresh. Especially in this market, I think someone will leak it to him.
We gotta make one up on this pod right now that we can feed to him, and then do a Finn like gotcha moment where it's like,
I know we need fake books. Well, I mean the Imperial Dynasty of America, yeah.
Yeah, we could also we can make our own Ninth Gate.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet. But I was researching it, and in the book, The Ninth Gate, it doesn't exist, and so but you can buy it, and it's just gibberish and fake plates.
Awesome.
But there were people watching who would look it up and see that there's this actual book, and so they're like, "Wow, this is a real antiquarian book. I'm gonna buy this for the black magic," and then it's just
I've been thinking about doing ancient book dealing. I've been thinking about getting into it.
You should. One of my coworkers, I haven't been able to go see his collection yet, but I mentioned like folk art or something around him, and he's like the 70-year-old guy, and he looked at me and he just gave me this knowing look and smiled, and I asked him like a day later, what was that about? And he was like, I deal with that stuff a lot, and he was telling me about like, oh, if you ever see like satanic or magic stuff, don't assume you're powerful enough to own it, because bad stuff will happen. That's why I said it's like I got a guy I can give it all to. I got a guy who will take it off my hands. He's powerful.
I'm going to buy.
He was telling me he's got like at a bank or whatever, he has like a safety deposit box where he says I've got like 10 like rare books, and I'm like, rare for you must be very different. And then the other day he was mentioning like one rare book that I want to get my hands on, and he's talking about this like one of only a 50 Edgar Allan Poe books that he produced in his life or something like that, like a $4 million book. So I really want to go through and see his collection.
I think the thing that's sad is that the known occult texts are almost undoubtedly mostly lies. They are like the public-facing occult. They are the exoteric of the esoteric. The real occult books are locked away. Private collectors have them. Like when people are like, oh, the fucking Malleus Maleficarum or the Ars Goetia or the Picatrix, like these are the absolute cream of the crop, which is to say they are all lies.
You know what you need to do?
What?
Iceberg video.
Iceberg. People see, the better thing is when people make icebergs of us, because they end up unconsciously recognizing truths that we have not even spoken. This has happened many times. Many times that people have made MIA memes. They pick up
from
truth.
The clicking in my chair.
But Ninth Gate is a great one. We're a Roman Polanski defender pod.
Friend of the pod.
Roman Polanski.
I don't know about
Roman, as we call him.
I don't know about that, guys.
I do feel like a lot of people are not as brave as they say they are, and they will become friends with a famous criminal or predator or whatever. As long as it's not too bad, and as long as they can get something out of it, fame, people will put up with a lot of it or whatever. Like people will be like, okay.
I think, all right, number one,
because they want to tap into the world.
The vast majority of people are monsters, like have done terrible things. I think it's silly to pretend that like famous ones are worse. I don't know. I think a lot of people know fucking murderers and people who've been in prison and criminals. I don't think it's that rare. I don't think it's like a surprising thing. And if they have made great art or like helped the arts, I think it's essentially forgivable. I mean, I don't know. This has been a long term view of the pod. Is that we're pro art.
We're pro, even if it kills.
Yes.
I think the art still stands. I feel like Child Bride is
too far.
For me, I would not. I would
I'm
I'd meet Roman Polanski. I wouldn't like spit in his face, but
I would it would be funny to meet him and then physically attack him. Well, there's a Bob Dylan thing where he said he wanted to. It might have been Roman Polanski, but there was like from the 70s, Bob Dylan said, "Let's go beat up," and it's like this. Was it? I'm from one. It was Roman Polanski. It was someone else who's well known for like having married like someone that he knew since they were like a child or whatever, a like really dirty guy. And Bob Dylan, early to the wave, as always, said, "I hate that guy. I want to go beat him up." Like sometime in the early 70s, and
I
I think
think
he
he
got like
beat up Orson. I mean, beat up Woody Allen.
yeah, it's Woody Allen. That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
I think also you can beat up somebody and punish them for what they've done, but also appreciate their art. I think that is the proper way of doing it.
Who are you going to beat up?
Yeah, I was thinking Anthony Fantano, but
back when I used to do TikTok like a couple years ago, he was a mutual of mine. We did not interact, but I did get to see the close friends posts that he would do. And he's just I'll just say
you're talking about Anthony. I thought you were going to bring up a different person. I was
no.
That was a joke. I don't care enough about him.
I feel like he's a deeply he's too goofy. This is the problem. He's too what's it? He's like drip. He keeps doing like was it drip check?
I think he fell off very, very, very hard. I think that like many, like iDubbbz, confrontation with Sam Hyde, confrontation with the true internet satyr.
Sam Hyde is too memetically powerful.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like if you are not pure of heart, you will be destroyed by interacting with something that is too deeply powerful internet wise.
Sam Hyde is the angel of death.
I think he's the satyr. I think he's like the ultimate internet satyr.
Because people who follow him don't care about any sort of allegations or anything like that. There's nothing you can say about him that would pull away from his audience. And so once he sets his sights on you, there's nothing you can do. It is just pure death.
If you are not pure of heart.
He tried to get Rogan and couldn't.
Rogan's too big.
Rogan, because that would destroy Rogan. Rogan would lose because Rogan is not pure of heart.
I guess when you say he sets his sights on, there was a moment where he was shooting too big for his britches, Sam, and tried to get on Rogan and tried to like goad. And that was like a 2-year thing. It was like probably the weakest era of the MDE stuff, IMO, when they were doing that, because it felt like they were just like yelling at someone who didn't care.
I agree. The best, if you want to not be destroyed, you just don't respond. It's the only way.
Just say, "Who are you? I don't know you." Which speaking of, I have to, for the sake of it, because I believe t-shirts have incredible memetic power. A friend of mine years ago bought some of his shirts, like the Epstein shirts or whatever. They sell for like $500 or something like that, like sold priceless. So I want to pick them up from her because she doesn't wear them anymore. And then I'll list them and be like,
and worn by a girl.
Exactly, that's what she said. She said like, and you can say she's like, we'll sell them and be like,
worn by a woman.
Like bonus, worn by a girl.
Amen.
Spritz it with some perfume before you sell it.
All right, I think
it's a good moment to announce that the store is going to be open when this goes up tomorrow, so you can buy the Cryptid Tarot. There is many units for sale, and be looking forward to new products with Mr. Finn. We are mind melding to create.
Oh yeah, this isn't just a regular collab.
We should do like an MIA. I guess I'm the A, in my view. So you get the M.
But I'm the A.
What?
I think I'm the I. I'm the intelligence.
We'll have to. Somebody who's gonna have to fucking. All right, then I'm the M. We're gonna have to fucking like make.
What? How do I do the A? Is this how I do the A?
Yeah, I think A. Is this not A?
This is a good way to end it.
M. Oh, that's a good way to do it. I like that. I still think that my MIA sigil is going to be a part of future MIA brand.
I think the brand over time, especially as the network grows, it will just be MIA affiliated, and then it's going to be deeper on the iceberg to even know what it stands for.
I agree. I think Meme Intelligence Agency might not even be what it's called anymore. It is like the MIA might mean something different right now.
Well, I think it's like people call it the CIA, you know?
Yeah.
Like not.
It's like the acronym or whatever you call it. It can mean multiple things.
Yes.
Like
media-induced autism.
Like the band GISM, GISM, and they would just randomly come up for what each letter would mean.
That was what the KLF had.
Oh, this is so good. It's like series of unfortunate events. The VFD, the Volunteer Fire Department, they have like 50 names though.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful. Good ending point.
All right.
The Freedom Club.